Let me show you how to see. Let's get started. Guy is full of magic. Let's get started. If you want it, you can have it. Let's get started. Take her with you wherever you go. Magic in the show, you see. Let's get started.
Hello, everybody. Woo woo, dun dun dun. It is me, Robyn by Carpenter Briscoe, your favorite spiritual life coach, and welcome to Illimitable Living Sessions with Robyn. It's me. So I decided that the best thing that I could possibly do would be to keep talking about all the things that I've been talking about for years and to do it here on YouTube so more people could learn about me and you didn't just have to be my Facebook friend. So, I have something in my eye. Okay, so I'm so glad that you're here. Welcome to Illimitable Living Sessions with Robyn. I'm Robyn by Carpenter Briscoe. Not only am I your favorite spiritual life coach, I am also author of Let's Get Stoned, Using Stones and Crystals to Create a Life That Rocks. So it is important to know that because I will spend a lot of time talking about stones and crystals, and this will explain why. If you love that song that was playing when we started, that is literally my theme song. It was written for me by written with me by a really good friend of mine, James E. Barmore. And if you would like to listen to more of that song, then you can download it on Apple. It's true. I think you can find it actually anywhere you can download music because his record label, maybe it's his old record label, whatever. I'm pretty sure they made it available anywhere that you can download music. So anywhere you can download music, look up Let's Get Stoned with James E. Barmore Jr. and you will be able to find the song. Yay! Okay, so what is this thing that I started anyway? It is a show, a series, a conversation, whatever you want to call this, about illimitable living. Excuse me. So what does the word illimitable mean? Let's start there. Illimitable is what you are the moment that you are born. You are an illimitable being. There is no way to limit you as long as you decide that you understand this about yourself. So we are all illimitable. All things that we've decided that we want to have in our life are 100% possible. They are possible. Now, possibility and probability are not the same thing. So let's get clear about that. All things are possible as long as you decide that you can do it, that it is possible, that it is yours to do, that you will have it, be it, do it. It's possible. It's possible. There are no limits on what you can do and what you can have in your life. So what are you going to do about that now? What do you do with that? What do you do with that information? What do you do with the information that all things are possible and that you have no limits? This is what I spend a lot of time talking and teaching my clients about, because as a spiritual life coach, my responsibility is to not only coach people, most people, or get a life coach or for business, for work, to help them get clear about their life as particularly their professional life, right? That's executive life coaches. Now, a life coach really used to be much more, I would say, almost spiritual in nature as time has gone on over the years of their decades of their being them, people have gotten a lot more specified. And so I am a spiritual life coach because I help you create spiritual practices using spiritual tools in your life to create this internal understanding of your illimitability. Say that 3 times fast. So, if we're going to live illimitable lives, then sometimes you need lessons around that. Sometimes you need ideas about how to think about it. Sometimes you need this understanding that someone else has achieved and they can help guide you along the way. So I live an illimitable life. Everything that I decide that is mine to do, have, and experience, I do have an experience. Literally that or something better. You know, sometimes your understanding of what is possible in your life is limited simply by what you know, right? Sometimes it's like, I've never experienced that in my life. I don't know anybody who's experienced that in their life. I don't know anybody who's ever done that. I don't know anybody, I haven't ever seen it. So you can't even imagine how great it is because it's not even in your imagination or in your, you know, in your surroundings. So sometimes something that you imagine, that you vision, that you think about, then work toward, vision, thought, action helps with manifestation. Vision plus thought plus action is how you get to manifestation. We will talk about that on another episode, but right now, just understand that vision plus thought plus action equals manifestation. And in order for you to manifest it, you have to think of it first, right? So what if what you think of is really super limited? And then you meet somebody that expands your understanding. And now all of a sudden, the thing that you thought is bigger and better than you ever thought possible. How awesome is that? So it is beyond limits, beyond the limits of even your imagination. Sometimes you are only limited actually by your imagination. And if you give yourself that kind of out, so to speak, so this or something better, right? You say, I am going to this or something better. I'm going to have this or something better. I'm going to experience this or something better. Just in case there might be something better. So think about this. If you have decided that your life is going to be a specific way, then you believe that truly and completely, and then act on it. You act as though that were true for you. So if you don't think that this is possible, let's see. I'm trying to think of something that I thought as a limiting belief at another time in my life. Actually, this is a good one. I didn't think that at one point people would actually take spiritual advice from me. I knew that I lived an extraordinarily spiritual life. I also had this thought that the only way that someone would take my advice would be if I proved that I had enough education to actually know what I was talking about. Right? And so that is how I behaved. I got a degree in business and became a business consultant for small business owners because I've owned multiple businesses in my life. I had multiple successful businesses in my life and have a degree in excuse me, I have a degree in business. So that meant that I could teach people how to do business because they would believe me based on my proven background in my professional life. So that's what I did. And I was successful at it. My goodness. I was successful at it. I had business clients. I had these small business clients. They believed in what I said. They believed that I had something to offer. Whatever they had made their decision about. And what's funny is I don't actually know why they made their decisions, right? I know what I felt comfortable saying about myself and my abilities to other people based on my own story that I had told myself. Now, other people who hired me as a business consultant, for them, they may not have considered any of those things. They benefited from the education that I have. They benefited from the wisdom that I had based on businesses that I had run. They, all of that. But why they actually made the decision for me to be their business coach, I have no idea. I know what I thought in my head. So that's what I went with. As time went on, what came to be clear is that I spent most of my time talking with my clients about essentially what was going on inside their spiritual self. I didn't really talk about business. I mean, we talked about business, and generally it ended up being in relation to them because they were small business owners, right? They're entrepreneurs. And often what happens, an entrepreneur ends up giving themselves a job as opposed to running a business. So they had to, and the reason that this was happening, I kept finding out, was because of thoughts that people had about themselves. It wasn't that they didn't have the money or the skill set or the wherewithal to be able to hire people and do all of things. It's that somehow in their mind, they thought that if they owned a business, they essentially had to be a slave to their business. And I hate to use the word slave, but that's really what it was. They were like, gotta make the donuts about their own business. How you gonna do that? How you gonna like slog in and, Joe versus the volcano every day, punching the thing and not actually living a glorious life? Isn't that why you started to be in business in the first place? Isn't that why you got your thing? Isn't that why you started your own thing? Isn't that why you decided to go down your own path so that you could live this life that was like awesome, except you found out that nobody works for you, or nobody cares about it as much as you do, or whatever reason that it's a challenge. So ultimately what I ended up doing was shutting down my business consulting business, which I had created. It was doing well. I thought this is exactly what I wanted. I asked for it. I thought of it. I visioned it. I thought about what I needed to do. I took action on it. I got clients. I got business. I got exactly what I said I wanted. I got entrepreneurs that needed help with creating a business that was working for them. What's funny is I ended up with exactly what I wanted and not getting what I actually wanted. Actually, say it again. I got what I said I wanted as opposed to what I actually wanted. And what I actually wanted was to be a spiritual life coach. How funny is that? So there I was, completely changing my business because I realized that the thing that I had visioned for my life was not actually the right thing, because I was judging myself as only being able to teach people what I could prove by having a degree that I knew. And what I found was that people really simply wanted to learn from me because I seemed to be living this life and enjoying it so much that they wanted to do the same thing. I have multiple clients that have said to me that the reason that they hired me is because they wanted some of whatever it was that I had. And I was like, you have it already. This is the best part. This is the best part. You actually have what I have. You already have it because you exist. You exist, therefore you are illimitable. So therefore you have the it that I have. What you may not have is belief in self at a core. You may not have spiritual tools, and you may not have spiritual practices that help you connect to that it that you are speaking of. So that is what this series is going to be about. So now I've gone live to tell you this because I really am excited about doing it. And so this is why I'm live. Chances are great it won't be live every time. I did create this new studio in my house so that I could come to you and bring these lessons to you, but they won't always be this long. And chances are great it'll be a video so I can put all kinds of cool stuff in it, all those more music and pictures. We like pictures. We like looking at things and reading things on screen. And I do not have some big production studio that they can drop all these things in while we're going live. So I'll probably be creating videos for you to see. It's just that I really wanted to go live today because it was important to me that this get started. I have been making notes. I have been writing lists. I have come up with all of these ideas about why I needed to start this right now. And so I had to start it right now. I'm very grateful if you've joined me live. I'm grateful that you're here joining me live. And if you are coming to this later, I am grateful that you have made it here with me at whatever time that you found a way to get here. So, because you are here looking at my brand new series here on the YouTube channel, I thought it would be great to start with a contest because I love contests. And sometimes they'll be my contests, and other times we'll do contests with some of the cool people I know. And sometimes this will be by myself, and sometimes I'll have cool people that I'm going to talk to, and then they'll have a contest. But today, to commemorate this brand new series here on the channel, I decided to have a contest. So the contest is going to be about stones and crystals. What a surprise. What? So in this bag, don't you love it? Gold digger. Isn't that fantastic? I love that so much. In this bag, I have put a handful of stones and crystals. Here's my handful. And I'm not going to tell you what they are. I will, of course, tell you all about them in the bag. I will have a little card for you that tells you what each one of the stones is and what they are, what their intentions are. And I may give you a little hint about different ways that you can use them, because that is what's important. That is what's in the book. There's the book. Can you see it? Let's get stoned using stones and crystals to create a life that rocks. Yes, this is about using the stones and crystals in your life. This is about making use of the things that are around you so that you can understand your life better, to understand, to tap into all those different parts of yourself that help you express your illimitability. I love that word. So to be the illimitable you that you are, it is time to start the contest. That's what that message was. So the contest is say below something that you know that is the best thing about you. So you have to tell me in the comments the best thing about you. And it can be something physical. However, I would really love it if you would choose something that has something to do with something you've done. Unless, like, if your something is, I've lost 50 pounds and I'm super this, because that's something that you actually did, that's totally cool. But I don't want you telling me I love my green eyes, because the reality is you didn't, that's genetics, man. That didn't have anything to do with something that you did. You just opened them and there they were green. So what I want you to do, because remember, we're looking to tell illimitable stories about ourselves. So what I would love you to do is focus on something that you love that has something to do with action that you have taken in your life. Like, for instance, I love that every time I get extraordinarily nervous about doing something, that I take a deep breath and do it anyway. I love that about myself. I love that I do not let fear be the reason that I don't do something. That is something I love about myself. What is something that you love about you? So put it in the comments and I will check the chat. I will check the comments and then figure out who is going to get this bag, this gold digger bag. What are your goals? What are your goals? Do you have goals? I bet you do. I bet you have goals that you have put aside, stop thinking about, pretended don't exist anymore. What are those goals and how can I help you get there? How can stones and crystals help you get there? How can this series help you get there? We'll have some more conversation around it. In the meantime, I'm going to play the song and say peace out. I love you. I'm grateful for you. Remember, you are illimitable. So go out and create a life that rocks. Dee dee.
Life can give us new direction. Amethyst gives you protection. Rainbow moonstone never bleeds.